Good afternoon, WP Sanding. It's Words of Wellness this week, and our special guest is Mr. Reddekoppppppppp.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Woo! And Mr. Archibald. Good to see you.
Woo.
How are you?
Yeah, good to see you guys too. I'm good. This is another good week of Words for Wellness, and we've got our famous Mr. Red on with us today, so it's going to be an exciting time.
It is. It's awesome. So, Mr. Red, how are you this fine day?
Oh, loving the beautiful weather we're having. Well, today sort of sucks, but we've had some really good weather. Awesome.
Yeah, that's good. You got your garden in? All's well?
Got it all planted, you bet.
Good for you. That's awesome. Okay, so what we typically do, Mr. Red, is I start with 5 quick questions to ask you some things so we can get to know you a little bit better. So,
Right on.
Is that okay?
You bet.
Okay, so your first question is, what is your favorite hockey team? We have to start with that one.
Woo! Woo, 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 woo.
Oh boy, Mr. Red, you've been watching our Words of Wellness, haven't you? What's this? What stuff?
Have so.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Boy.
Leafs are doing well in the playoffs.
Are they
What year?
playing?
Yeah, what year was that? Like, I don't think I was even close. I don't even know if my parents were born yet in that year.
They didn't televise the last 3 games. The Oilers lost 3, didn't make the playoffs, and the Leafs did. And woo, we're rocking.
That's awesome.
Hi.
Oh, it's so funny because
I'm thinking we need to maybe get you in to see a doctor for this treatment up here. So we'll talk later about that, though.
All right.
Next question. If you had to choose between hot dogs and hamburgers, which one would you choose, Mr. Red?
That's a good question. I got to go with hamburgers because I make a lot of my own burgers at home here, and I enjoy them. Mm-hmm.
That's good. And you are a good cook, because I know that I've had the opportunity to eat some of your stuff at our staff potluck. So
yeah, well, this shows it too. So yeah.
My goodness. Okay, can you tell me something that maybe most people don't know about you? One thing that you could say on Words of Wellness?
Okay, yeah, let's keep it. Probably most students probably know that I'm a twin, but maybe their parents don't know. So yeah, I'm a twin. There's another one of me out there. Not quite the same shape. He's a little bit bigger, which makes me very happy. So I really enjoy being a twin. It's a good thing that you can connect with someone, and sometimes we are on the same wavelength at the same time and don't even know it. And
that's cool.
Weird connection being a twin, but yeah.
Older or younger than you?
He's an hour and 10 minutes younger than I am.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And what does he do?
He runs an art gallery. He and another couple guys co-own a art gallery in Vancouver.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Okay. Where is your most favorite place that you have ever traveled to?
Ooh, tough question. Well, whenever someone asks me that, I've got to go directly to Greece. I love all of Europe, and you and I have traveled with the travel club to many places in Europe, but I think Greece was my favorite.
Yeah, it was gorgeous there. I would move there tomorrow. It was so
yeah. And I guess it's all the history that goes along with it, and seeing those sites that have been around for thousands of years, and so Greece was a amazing. And the Greek islands are beautiful. And remember that island we visit, Hydra, where there were no cars, just donkeys, and then we
I
arrived.
didn't make it that day because I was dealing with the lost passport of a student, so I had to stay back.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, it was good.
That's right. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Well, we took a bunch of donkeys, our own students, over to island donkeys. So that was kind of good.
Yeah, that was a great trip. The weather was amazing. The food was really good. It was really good. I had a good time there.
You bet.
One thing that I'd like to mention, Chris, and you don't know this, but we did go to Barcelona, Spain, and it was one of our trips. And we went on this bike tour, and we had like 40 some kids with, 30 some kids. We were all on bikes with our little helmets, and Mr. Red is famous for taking photos and videos everywhere we go, and he's always like, okay, here we are going down the blah blah blah. And so anyway, he looks away, goes over a speed bump, wipes out right on his bike. It was so funny. So he had
was hilarious.
kids around him trying to pick him up and hoping he didn't break anything. It was awesome.
Well, I have as much cushion as I do now.
It sounds like you were in good hands there, Mr. Redekopp. So
Yeah, that was just before we got to the Mediterranean. We rode up on our bikes, and I'm taking video of the people playing volleyball by the beach, and I'm down by the water, and then same trip, same day, and I get wiped out by a rogue wave. So it wasn't a great day, but
and he was wearing jeans and he was soaked. It was so funny. He spent the whole day in wet jeans. It was
hilarious.
Awesome. So anyway, back to our questions. Last one. Okay. Those of you that know you know that you love opera music. So I would love to know what or how you became so passionate about opera music.
I don't know. I guess my when I was a teenager, I rock and roll and country. Those are my favorites. But as I grew older, I think my twin sort of introduced me to different things with a little bit more culture, and we went to see Les Miserables together, and I just developed a love for and a passion for classical music, operettas, and things like that.
Well, I know there's often times when I walk into your classroom and the kids are working and you're playing opera music and they don't skip a beat. They're just they just keep on going and working, and
they don't have a choice.
It's okay. Introduce them to new cultures, like you say.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely.
Yes. So, do you have any questions that you would like to ask, Mr. Archibald?
I do, actually. Now that we got your 5 questions,
yeah.
I've got, of course, I've always got a word that I kind of connect to with a teacher, and we've kind of discussed that a little bit. But before we get there, Mr. Redekopp, seeing as you're such a great teacher, give me a history lesson on, not on the Oilers or the Leafs, but on you. How did you get to Sherbrooke? You've been in Sherbrooke for, well, obviously over 21 years. I'm not sure exactly, but how'd you get here? Where'd you come from? And yeah, give me a little mini history lesson.
Well, I'll say this. I had a relative that lived here, and we came to visit them when we were younger. And I remember saying to myself, Sherbrooke, I'll never live in Sherbrooke, never. And here I am. I've been here for just about 25 years, and I love it. I don't want to go anywhere else. I'd rather stay here. I don't want to go to a city anymore. It's home.
I agree.
Yeah. How did I get here? Well, I guess after graduating from university and getting a job up at Big River, and spending 2.5 years up there. I was transferred down here, and I've been here ever since. So,
Wow. What got you into teaching, Mr. Redekopp?
well, I don't know. I guess as a teenager, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Getting out of high school, I went into the workforce. Didn't get back into university until I think I was 24 when I went back to university, and had no idea what to go into. So I started with arts and crafts, arts and science, and got my degree there. And then as that was moving along, I decided, okay, what am I going to do with this degree? And I decided, I think I have a passion for teaching. And one of the main reasons for that is a former teacher of mine who happened to be a principal, and the relationship that we developed over the years sort of inspired me to become a teacher. He was a pretty straight-laced kind of guy in a lot of ways, but he enjoyed my sense of humor and I enjoyed his, and he never let me off the hook on things. I remember him carrying me down to the principal's office from his classroom because I was a little pissant or a little jerk that day, and he carried me by the collar and a belt loop, and he carried me down to the office and disciplined me down there. Of course, those were the days that we had the strap, and I think I got one or two of those from him over the years, but I still appreciated him and appreciated his connection with me. And even though we have a bad day, one day we forget about it and go on to the next. And so that
That's
kind
awesome.
of relationship sort of steered me that
Wow.
way.
Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for sharing that. And that kind of leads into the whole piece around the words that I kind of selected with you. We talked a little bit about with you in regards to being courageous. And then I'm going to throw out a different one that just showed up, and connected. And the reason I say connected is that we had a little bit of work in your classroom this year with our Mental Health 20 class.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a little experience dealing with 7, 8s, and 9s and in those middle years, but you got to be pretty courageous to stick in that grade level for such a long time, from what I understand, and you got to be connected, and that really showed up in your classroom this year. So tell me a little bit more about how you bring that out and how that resonates with you.
Well, I guess being a middle years teacher, you have to be crazier than the kids are. And sometimes I feel like I'm the one that instigates the trouble in the classroom just by opening my mouth, and but that's okay. I don't mind being a teenager at heart and goofing around, because that's what I was when I was a student too. So I try to understand that students are students, and yeah, we're gonna make mistakes, and we're gonna hopefully move on the next day and reestablish that relationship and that connectedness. And yeah, so teenagers, yeah, they're a wonderful thing, a wonderful creature.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Mr. Red. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your ambiance in your classroom and in the hallways, and your connection to the kids. So thank you, and yeah. So
Have you always taught grade 8, Mr. Red?
No. I don't know how long it's been now. Probably 8 years, 9 years, something like that.
Okay.
And then before that, grade 7, grade 6, grade 5, and then in Big River, I taught anywhere from 9 to 12. Yeah, so. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
cool. Good stuff.
Is there anything else you would like to add, Mr. Red, before we go today?
is that for me, just for me, or is that for Mrs. Herndeer too? Because I think she's an orange and blue fan too.
It's for Mr. Thorpe. It's for yourself. It's for Mrs. Herndier. It's for any student of mine who likes the Oilers and who never let me forget when the Leafs lose. So I've got to stick it to them as well.
Let's see.
In fact, one of my students got me a little, looks like Sonic the Hedgehog, only in Oilers colors and with an Oilers jersey on the front this year. And I believe it was Cohen. And,
That's cool. I appreciate that sort of, incentive or initiative they bring, that love. And do you cuddle
Yes.
with that said Sonic, Oilers Sonic Hedgehog thing? Like, is that your cuddling toy, like at nighttime? Like,
I step on it every once in a while. We throw it around the classroom. It sort of brought back toilet paper football in my classroom because we used to play it all the time in the class. And then I don't know, some principal or somebody told us that we shouldn't be sitting on top of our desks and throwing toilet paper around the classroom as a game, and it sort of disappeared. This has come back, and it's nice to throw an Oilers thing around the classroom. Yeah. Memorabilia, right?
Yes, that is the word. And
Right.
well, that's awesome. I'm glad we came full circle. We started with the Maple Leafs and we'll end with the Maple Leafs. So thank you so much, Mr. Red, for joining us today. I know it's been a while since we were able to get you on here. So I'm very, very happy that you joined us today. And just know that you are much loved by the staff and students at WP. And we wish you all the best in the remaining of the year. I know it's different this year because of COVID, but you're awesome. Keep up the good work and have a great rest of your year.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. And can I just say that
Yes.
I appreciate the efforts of you two to spread words of wellness, not just in this series of videos you're doing, but also in the work that you did this year. And kudos to you guys for bringing that forward in our school. And at times I sometimes get a little emotional about things like this, and this whole COVID thing is really taught me to appreciate the kids more.
That's good.
You get caught up in getting things done in the classroom and moving on, and you forget about the relationships at times. And so these types of things are good to reconnect with kids, and I appreciate your work. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Red. Thank you. I appreciate you as well and all the work you do. So thanks for showing up and suiting up and being vulnerable, and that's great.
Thanks for wearing your jersey. We appreciate it. Okay, we'll see you next week, everyone. Have a great week. Take care.
Bye.